It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, I brought Chris Pollock back on the end of the day with Ray because we got to talk about the shedding of the Konica direct offices and how that affects dealers and how that affects Chris's business himself. Because, folks, when OEMs start picking and choosing dealers to take over distribution, there's a lot of folks that get left behind and get a little bit upset. And Chris Pollock, you have a venue that they can go to buy supplies. Am I correct about that?
Yes, we can help. We can help many of those Konica Minolta dealers who are looking for some alternate choices that they have.
Well, you know, Chris, I remember, and I'm sure you do too, back in 2017, I'm turning you up here a little bit, but back in 2017, we had Rico shedding off some direct operations. And I was just going to ask you real quick, when that happened, did you see an uptick in your business from the dealers that might have been upset about that?
Going back then, we did. You know, at that time when Rico was selling off those offices to other independent dealers, there were situations where those dealers that were getting that additional business, if they had other competing dealers in the geographic region, some of them were starting to look and say, well, you know, am I going to be able to compete in that situation? And there were also some of those dealers where, you know, they carried more lines than Rico, so they were thinking about, you know, possibly shifting and getting help from their other manufacturers when they thought it would be a lot tougher in the Rico area. And they were able to come to us and, you know, ask us how we could help them, and we showed them ways that we could, you know, help bring more profits for them, make those machines out there more profitable. So a lot of people made those changes, and, you know, probably in that year we saw a little bit north of you know, $1 million extra revenue, you know, from that scenario.
It's probably grown since then, but you know, it's kind of funny. You mentioned something. I started thinking about it. Surely Konica would not, you know, give or shed or pay or whatever they're doing with this distribution. They wouldn't bypass a dealer in a marketplace that was 100% Konica and go to a dealer that was selling multiple brands, would they? I mean, I would hope not, anyway.
Well, I guess you don't know. I guess it depends geographic region by geographic region. I mean, somewhere there may be a lot more dealers, usually from what I've seen with other OEMs, when they've decided to go this route of, you know, taking branch offices and selling them back into the dealer marketplace. Usually in a geographic region, they've made a choice with just one of those dealers. So I guess dealers that are concentrated in a geographic region, they have to kind of get a feel for where they may stand and how that's going to affect them.
Well, I got to tell you, boy, that would make me mad if you were 100% loyal. All of a sudden, you're getting a new competitor now with direct operations. Crazy stuff. But, you know, I did have a friend of mine. I got a lot of friends out there. Some sell Konica. And this one particular, I sent you a little email on it, but he's got the TN321 toner that he uses. And he uses the TN324 toner. Had about 380 machines in the market. And those are discontinued machines, my friends. A lot of times that's where the dealers will go, right? They give them 100% of that business right now and then work toward the stuff that's still in production. But you were going to do some math for me. So, you know, what was the scenario on that? If he has 380 machines and, you know, what were you telling me? It's between $120 and $125 for the set of that toner, right?
Yeah, well, the TN321 per color set, you're saving $120 versus the OEM, and on the TN324 you're saving $125 versus the OEM. So I guess you could split that in the middle and average it out as 123.
So it's 380. You put two sets in a year. My God, that's like $93,500, Chris. That's a lot of money for just one.
Getting close to $100,000 a year.
Wow, that's crazy. That's not a very big dealer either. He's just got a big account with those in there still. That's amazing, man. So there is an opportunity for dealers to put some pressure on the OEMs, and that's really what I think they should be doing. I mean, they're getting pressure put on them. There's no reason not to look. But more importantly, it's not about picking favorites, picking winners, picking losers, making OEMs mad. It's about dealers taking care of their own business in a consolidating marketplace, which is going to get stressed, and relationships are going to get stressed as well. We all know that. And there's a great resource for you that they can go to on their toner. Just remind everybody, you know, what brands, Chris, do you have? Do you have all the OEMs?
Pretty much most of the popular brands. Yeah, aside from Konica Minolta, we also have Sharp, Kyocera, Rico, Toshiba, Canon. So for most of those dealers, we can help you out with just about any brand. give us a call, have a conversation. There are some areas where we can help you out more than others. So we're always happy to tell you where we can help you. And if we really can't help you that much, we'll tell you that too.
Well, I read an article out there, and they were squashing some rumors at one point in time, but they had mentioned that most of the stuff that was going were remnants from the Danka days, and I'm thinking there's a whole lot of Danka offices down there in Florida, so there's probably going to be more coming true, more of these branches getting sold off. So are you going to have any kind of special? I mean, can we put a special together we'll just call it the Disenfranchised Konica dealer special or something? I mean, can you do something special for these folks?
Well, I would say, the most important thing for dealers is to understand your options and try things out. I know when people look at making a change from only using OEM toner, their mind immediately goes to how it can't work because they're thinking this is such a big risk. And I'm always a proponent of being an experimenter with smaller risks, because when we take smaller risks, we see the possibilities and then see how we can change things and take advantage of the bigger opportunities. So anyone that would be interested in learning about how we could help them save with alternatives of using our toner for Konica Minolta, if you'd like to buy a color set to try one of these out here, we'll give you a second set on us.
All right, well, that's pretty nice. We got to get them to test it. I'd be like, what, just give me some references, Chris. I'm going to call them up, and if it's good with them, I'm going to replace those 380 bottles of toner right now the next time I fill them. But, I can be ruthless.
Where to reach us.
But Chris, hey, it's great talking to you again. Is there anything you want to add? I mean, how are things going now? We're getting ready to get back out there full swing. Are you seeing the orders pick up a little bit?
We're seeing business be very steady. So I'm hoping that as the vaccinations go up and people are getting a little bit more back to normal, we should see that. And we are coming into the summertime of the year, which is usually a slower period. And if we see things stay consistent, I think once we get past the summer and schools are reopened again here, we should see things very strong in the latter part of 2021.
Well, I'll look forward to having a drink with you in person. I know we're all anxious to get out. I had the pleasure of going down to Orlando not too long ago, and I look forward to getting out again. But Chris, it's always good having you on, because we all know this: status quo is the killer of all that'll be invented. Don't get stuck in status quo, and we'll see you all tomorrow.